Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Wei Yi from iFAST Strategic Investment Team. After the winding down announcement by MoneyOwl last Thursday, I'm sure most of you are concerned and will have a number of questions for MoneyOwl as well as iFAST. This is why today we have organized a session and invited the few panelists to discuss more about this transition. Please allow me to introduce the panelists today. We have Chun Ting, the CEO of MoneyOwl. We also have Terence, the General Manager of iFAST Global Markets, where your investments will be transferred to. And lastly, we have Joel, Head of Wealth Management from Dimensional Fund Advisors, where most of your monies are invested into. So before we go into the Q&A, let me kick off with some questions for the panelists. Chun Ting, can you share with us more about how MoneyOwl arrived at this difficult decision?
Yes, good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining iFAST at this webinar. As you know, last Thursday we announced that MoneyOwl will be winding down its business, and this follows a review that MoneyOwl and its shareholder NTUC Enterprise had undertaken. The review concluded that the business was not commercially viable, and being in a group of social enterprises, the decision was taken to redeploy these resources to areas where we could have greater social impact. So this was not an easy decision, and in fact it was a very difficult one for everyone involved. But most of all, our topmost concerns was always for our clients. And we explored all feasible and viable options together with our shareholder and decided that the best course for our clients would actually be to transfer our clients, their servicing, and the business of both our investment and insurance to a stable pair of hands like iFAST, while we wound down the corporate entity and mitigated the impact on staff. So with this, we considered many things in terms of the partner that we should choose. And I've written an article which is available in your email, in the email that I sent to you, as well as on our website, to say why is it that we chose iFAST. iFAST has actually been your custodian and your platform provider for many years, ever since MoneyOwl started. And so therefore, with iFAST, you have as seamless a transition as you could possibly under the less than ideal circumstances. And the fees that you have been enjoying, iFAST is committed to maintain. In addition, iFAST provides multifaceted advice as an advisor that advises not just on investments, but also on insurance. And you will also have a hybrid, or continue to have a hybrid experience, meaning that you can DIY on a digital platform and at the same time have access to advisors. Most importantly, it's a stable pair of hands, and iFAST you can find out more about when Terence talks about who iFAST is, and I think that would give you more insight and also assurances. So having said that, we appreciate that this transition would cause inconvenience and even concern to many of you. And we are here to answer the questions. MoneyOwl client servicing team has been having lines open throughout the long weekend and will be doing so again through to the next Sunday, 9 to 6 every day. Of course, you can also contact our client advisors, or you can contact iFAST. Finally, before I hand over back to the moderator, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts for the really the overwhelming appreciation and affirmation that our clients gave to us even over this long weekend, either directly writing to us, our advisors, or on social media. And we really appreciate that, because this is less than ideal, but we are happy to have done our part, and we really would hope that everyone continues on this journey of financial wellness so you can meet your life goals and really live everyone the best possible life. Yeah, so I think that's the backdrop, and I'll hand over back to Wei Yi.
Okay, thank you, Chun Ting, for the trust in iFAST. And of course, I'm sure most of the investors, or many of the investors, may not know iFAST that well. So now maybe we can go to Terence, and Terence, you can give us an introduction to iFAST.
Right. Yeah, thanks, Wei. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. So, I mean, a very warm welcome from iFAST. I think this is the first time we are addressing you, our incoming clients from MoneyOwl. So, I think iFAST is not an easy business to explain, right? I mean, those of you who have done your due diligence on us, you'll find, our annual report says a lot of things about us. Right, you see a lot of news reports on us, a lot of information out there, but actually it's pretty hard to introduce iFAST to people who may not have heard of us or may not even be aware of what we're doing. So I guess maybe now it's a good time for me to ask my colleagues to bring up a slide. So just to help give a sense of who iFAST is. And hopefully that'll give you some assurance about this transition. Since you'll be working with us, you will come on as our clients. So I think the first thing I want to say is that we are actually a pretty sizable company. Right? We currently work with clients on over 18.8 billion. Okay, so that's billion dollars of assets, and this is as of end of June this year. We are also a listed company, so you will find lots of information about us. We have been listed on the SGX since December 2014. And if you look at our financials, which are all public information, you'll find that since listing we have been profitable throughout. Right? I think that's a key consideration. When you want to work with a partner, is it sustainable? And I think we have shown that. We have a market cap in excess of 1.5 or 1.6 billion at the moment. Okay, this data is as of end of June. Shareholders' equity 230 million end of June. I think that represents very sizable financial strength as a company. For those of you who want to know where we operate, Singapore is our headquarters, but we are also present in 4 other countries: Singapore, Malaysia, Hong Kong, China, and more recently in the United Kingdom. So some of you may not be aware, we actually are also a bank. So the iFAST group owns a banking entity in the UK. That's a fairly new business, but it's a full bank license there, where we serve clients from all around the world. So that's I guess why we call ourselves a banking, or rather a digital banking and wealth management fintech platform. So it's a big mouthful, but just giving you a sense of some of the businesses that we are in. I think more specifically, what does it mean for you? Because you are investing with us as a client in Singapore. In Singapore, I want to point out that we have a couple of licenses that that relate to the business that you're doing with us, as well as a few other things. A key one is actually our custodial services license. Okay, I think if you look around, there aren't many financial institutions that are allowed to be custodians. Okay, the custodial license allows us to hold assets for you, and this is a service that we have been performing on behalf of MoneyOwl since day one. Right, so we have already been holding assets on your behalf. And in addition to that, I think as part of the transition, we'll also be relying on our licenses and expertise in things like fund management and also financial advisory. I think a key point for those of you who are investing your CPF money with us, okay, we are also one of the few CPF investment administrators. So we are allowed to hold your CPF assets when you invest in your MoneyOwl portfolios. Okay, just probably want to end off with one additional point. I think even though we are not aggressive marketers, right? So we don't advertise ourselves very frequently, but just want to point out we've been in business for the past 23 years. Okay, so we were founded in the year 2000. We've been around 23 years. We have built a very healthy and profitable business. And I think most important to our clients is that we have stuck true to our mission statement. And if I were a client and I looked at this mission statement, I'll say, I think I can relate to that, because it is to help investors around the world invest globally and profitably. Just to point out, the keyword there is to help investors. And I think we're quite privileged and honored that we've been chosen. After quite intense discussions with our partners at MoneyOwl, to be given this opportunity to help them with this transition, and also to help you, the clients, as we move on from this journey.
Okay, thank you, Terence, for the introduction. And in fact, we already have some questions coming in asking specifically about the business sustainability of iFAST. I think we have given them a very clear picture of how our business is, our profitability, our shareholder equity. So, but I think a lot of the questions also pertains towards what are the commitments to MoneyOwl clients. So perhaps you can also share with us what are the commitments that we have given to MoneyOwl.
Okay. Yeah, so I think the commitments that we've given are quite specific. I think the way we try to think of what would give MoneyOwl clients the assurance, not just to stay true to on their investment portfolios, to accept us, okay, as a new service provider to help them manage their money, but also to see us as a long-term partner on their wealth journey. So again, I think instead of me just talking, maybe I ask my colleagues to bring up this very simple slide. Okay, we're not going through very complicated things here tonight, but we have said this or these points in a variety of places. I think we've actually put out some communication on that as well. But maybe let me just talk through very quickly on some of these commitments, if you can allow me that time. First, we commit the continued safety of your investments. So this relates to our role as a custodian. Like I mentioned, we have been performing this role since day one on your MoneyOwl portfolios and also on your CPF portfolios as well. Right? So we will continue to look after these assets as custodian and at the same time provide new services on the investment advisory and fund management front. A big thing, I guess, for clients of MoneyOwl is what fees am I going to pay? Okay, we thought long and hard about this, and there have been many things that are said, I guess, in the public domain, on social media, on certain forums. But I think it's important for us to state on the record, we have committed to MoneyOwl as part of this transition that we will not be making any changes to the fees on your accounts. So whatever fees you're paying today, we will continue to honor that fee arrangement. Okay? So I think that's a very clear commitment on that front. Yeah, the third part I think is, if I'm a client at MoneyOwl, I'll then be wondering, what does this mean for me in terms of new investments? Can I continue to make them? What happens to my ongoing investments? Because I think quite a number of you have, in iFAST language, it's called a regular savings plan. I think at MoneyOwl we call that
monthly buy request.
Monthly buy request, right? Yes. So the intention on our side is for you to continue with all these investments. If you are an existing MoneyOwl client, you will be able to make new investments in the MoneyOwl portfolios even after transition. Okay, I think that's again a very clear commitment on our part. The fourth part, I just want to talk very quickly about insurance rebates. So iFAST is taking over the investment business of MoneyOwl. We will also be looking after the insurance clients. And I think through the conversations I've had with Chun Ting and her team, I think it's very clear that iFAST and MoneyOwl have very strong alignment in terms of how we think about not just the investments, but especially on the insurance front. Okay, both our businesses offer commission rebates on insurance policies that we sell. And we have committed to MoneyOwl that these insurance rebates will continue at iFAST. The caveat here is that there are a number of hoops we have to jump through operationally, working with not just you, the clients, but also working with the business partners, the insurers, to ensure that we can collect these commissions and then pass on that commission rebate to you. Okay? So we will also be reaching out to insurance clients as part of this transition. Okay, the fifth part I think relates to that burning question. Yeah, if I'm going to stick around with iFAST on my MoneyOwl portfolios, then is it going to be a huge change? And we have committed to MoneyOwl that we will manage these portfolios in accordance with the same investment philosophy. It's globally diversified, okay, low cost. And I think a big part of this investment philosophy would deal working very closely with Dimensional. So Dimensional has been an iFAST partner for quite a long time. And actually, I'm quite proud to have Joel in the studio today to share a bit about how Dimensional works with iFAST.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah. So before we go to Joe, just pick up a couple of questions, just run it through because there are also a lot of concerns like what you mentioned, our commitments to the MoneyOwl clients. Specifically, clients have asked, is there a legal arrangement to ensure that we stick to the fees that we are charging? We're not allowed to change the fees. That's number one. And also like in terms of the platform fees, do MoneyOwl clients have to pay platform fees? Thanks.
Yeah. I'll take the platform fee question first because MoneyOwl doesn't charge a platform fee for its clients, and iFAST, after taking over the MoneyOwl clients, will not charge a platform fee on those accounts as well. Right? This is something they have committed to MoneyOwl as part of the transition. The second question is there anything legally binding that doesn't allow us to increase the fees and all that? I get that concern. Right. So, I can only sit here and assure all MoneyOwl clients, right? If you stick around with us, okay, we have no intention of changing the fees. But as any business will be able to tell you, it's not possible to commit legally or otherwise on any kind of fee structure because, circumstances change. This may be something 20, 30 years out. It could be half a year out. If certain business circumstances change, then we may be forced to do certain things. So it's not possible to say with any certainty that we can commit to this forever. But I think whatever we have put out in the public domain, our press release, and we've spoken long and hard with Chen Ting about this as well. I think we have given her enough comfort that we will keep those fees the way they are, and we intend to have the MoneyOwl clients stick around with us for a really long time.
Yeah, perhaps I could pick up on that
Yeah.
and perhaps share some, I don't know whether you call them behind the scenes. So actually, when we first broke the news to iFAST, and this was done at the highest, most senior levels, the commitment on the fees was given to me immediately. By iFAST chairman and CEO, right? And this has only been reiterated all the while. And the detailed discussions were more like, there are some of you on promotional fees until 31st of December, until whatever time it is, October and all these. And iFAST will honor all those promotions, even those promotions. Right? So of course, on the legal arrangements, I think you appreciate that even if we tie iFAST down to a legal arrangement, MoneyOwl will not be around as an entity. But for a public listed company to put out a statement on its website about what it's going to do about the fees and all that, it's not something to be taken lightly. And this is as you know, the standards for disclosure and others are very, very high for public listed companies in terms of their conduct and their behavior that you expect of them. So indeed, we have a very high level of confidence. Otherwise, we would not have undertaken this arrangement with iFAST. And so I hope that you'll be reassured of this commitment that has been publicly given by iFAST, not only to MoneyOwl, but also to you.
Okay, great. So now that we've shared with MoneyOwl clients that we are committed to keeping that fee structure, and in fact, we have a lot of different business divisions. If clients need other advice and all this, they will be coming under different model. So for the MoneyOwl clients, we'll be happy to keep it low for existing clients. Okay, so back to the investment philosophy, the part. Joel, can you give us an introduction about dimensional funds?
Be happy to.
And also the working relationship with MoneyOwl as well as iFAST.
Certainly. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with MoneyOwl clients today. And might I just congratulate Chen Ting and the MoneyOwl team for the great job that you've done over the past 5 years in being one of the pioneers for low-cost digital wealth investments in Singapore. It plays a really important role in Singapore by lowering cost, increasing the ability for ordinary Singaporeans to get investment solutions that are typically in the domain of institutionally owned investors. So congratulations to you and the team. And this, I guess, is the next chapter for the great work that you've done. So Dimensional is a large privately owned investment management firm. We manage, I'm not sure exactly what the assets are today, but somewhere in the vicinity of 700 billion US dollars. So that's about $1 trillion Singapore dollars, which is a lot of money. Most people have never heard of Dimensional because we don't advertise publicly. We work closely with a lot of large institutions and government entities, and also with independent fee-based wealth management firms like MoneyOwl. So since day one, when MoneyOwl started, we worked very hard to prove the efficacy of our investment approach through a very stringent due diligence research period, where MoneyOwl were looking for the best solutions they could stand behind for Singaporeans, many of whom are not investment professionals by any stretch of the imagination. And fortunately for Dimensional, we were chosen as the sole investment manager for, I guess, their accumulation portfolios. So there are a number of portfolios of different risk profiles. Dimensional is the manager for both equities and fixed income in those portfolios. And I think we're proud of the role we've played over the last 5 years in a few areas. The first area is giving clients access to many thousands of securities. So in a MoneyOwl portfolio, it wouldn't be uncommon to see 12,000, 13,000 securities in a portfolio, delivered at very low cost, managed actively on a daily basis. Now, I say actively, where Dimensional is different is that we are making decisions on securities to buy and sell every single day. But the key thing about Dimensional's philosophy, which aligns very closely to MoneyOwl, is that we never try and outguess the market. We accept security prices for what they are, because there are millions of participants every single day putting information into prices, buying and selling securities, and we believe that securities exist in a state of equilibrium, which changes every day. And so the MoneyOwl portfolios are specifically designed to have a strategic allocation to equities and fixed income, and we never try to guess whether equity markets are going up or down, or fixed income markets are going up or down. We just maintain our low cost exposure to many thousands of securities. I think that served MoneyOwl investors well, particularly because of the partnership, where MoneyOwl would do all of the rebalancing to maintain those exposures, and we maintain full exposure to capital markets for MoneyOwl clients.
Right.
That's the MoneyOwl side, but then there's the iFAST side.
Right.
Yeah. We've also worked with iFAST for many years. So we started working with independent wealth management firms in Singapore in 2016. And I think it was towards the end of 2016 that we started taking money from iFAST as a custodian. So that relationship is 7 years old. And the relationship between MoneyOwl and iFAST is 5 years old. So in many respects, it's business as usual for MoneyOwl investors with the custody relationship that we have with iFAST.
Okay, so on the investment strategy specifically, with iFAST's commitment to the strategic allocation, do you foresee any concerns that clients should have in terms of their investments with Dimensional iFAST?
Yeah, that's a really important question. I think that, again, credit to the MoneyOwl team. Clients are in one of those strategic asset allocation portfolios because the MoneyOwl investors have worked with the MoneyOwl team to figure out their financial planning needs, and then arrive at a portfolio that's going to give them the maximum opportunity to achieve those financial planning needs. So the maintenance of the strategic asset allocation by MoneyOwl, and therefore by iFAST, if you're taking over those portfolios, is critical. That's the most important thing in the relationship. So from Dimensional's perspective, if that is maintained and rebalanced too, as markets move up and down, then it'll be business as usual for MoneyOwl investors. We'll continue to maintain full investment in equity and fixed income markets, doing what we do. And that, combined with strategic asset allocation rebalanced, if that continues, then it's business as usual, and that should achieve good outcomes, continued good outcomes for the end investors.
Great. So clients should not have any concerns in particular to their investments?
Look, I think they shouldn't have any concerns that Dimensional is going to be doing anything different under the relationship with iFAST, and should have confidence in the plans that that MoneyOwl put in front for them. So if they stick with the program, we would expect the same outcomes to continue.
Right. Great. Thanks. So, I mean, we have a dimensioner here with us. I think there are a number of questions also asking whether is the relationship going to be kept with Fullerton? So what about their funds invested with Fullerton? Terence, would you like to take that question?
Yeah. So I think this, I guess, relates a lot to the Wise Saver and also
income.
the Wise Income. And I mean, I don't want to be on a live stream here giving advice to clients, but I can say that at iFAST we've worked with Fullerton for a really long time. I think the relationship goes back much further than I guess even MoneyOwl's history with Fullerton. And I think we have done sufficient due diligence together with the MoneyOwl team on the portfolios, the funds, and at this point of time, there's actually no reason why we won't continue working with Fullerton going forward on these relevant strategies.
Yeah. So if I may add, MoneyOwl has also worked with Fullerton. In fact, even before the announcement was made public, and so Fullerton understands fully why this has to be so, and they have also been in touch with the iFAST team. So nothing changes. Right? For Wise Income, Fullerton will continue to manage it according to the prospectus, and I think it's still going to be Wise Income on the iFAST platform. And Wise Saver underlying it is probably $2 billion fund, cash fund, a true cash fund, and so that definitely continues. And the fees, including the management fees of the Fullerton MoneyOwl Wise Income, will be retained at its current low levels.
Okay, great. So we already have questions coming in, and I'll just try to sift through the questions and those more important ones and what clients are most concerned about. I'll try to read it out to the various panelists. So appreciate also if all the audience can let me know at who is your question directed at. If not, I'll exercise my discretion and direct to the panelists. So I think there are a lot of questions also centering around this custodian arrangement. So they are asking like, now that the assets are going to be transferred from MoneyOwl to iFAST, who is going to be the custodian?
So I guess I'll take that question since I used this word custodian a couple of times earlier. Okay, so maybe just to be clear, since day one when you've been investing with MoneyOwl, okay, iFAST has already been your custodian. I think you can find quite a lot of detail on that on the MoneyOwl website, right? It's where we are already referenced as the custodian of your assets and who we are and things like that. So following the change, actually one of the key things, and this is actually one of the, I guess, the reasons why MoneyOwl decided to work with iFAST as well, because everyone wants the least disruption for clients. I said actually the assets that you have held on the iFAST platform, they really don't move anywhere, right? So this process where today you are funding the account, you have a G something account that you make a payment to, and then that's matched off with the investments and all that. Okay, that is not going to change post transition. Okay, because iFAST is literally not moving your assets anywhere. We will continue to hold them in that exact same account. It's just that the place that you will see this account has now changed from the MoneyOwl platform to iFAST. Okay, so no one is taking assets from your account, moving them into some funny place, and iFAST as a licensed custodian remains the custodian of those assets. Okay, so the custodian role is important because there are lots of I guess financial institutions or financial intermediaries out there. If you look down if you go to the MAS website, you will find a huge number of financial firms. But if you look at the licenses of how many firms are actually licensed custodians, okay, that list shrinks tremendously. Okay, it takes a long time, maybe speaking out of turn here because someone from MAS may be listening to this. But if I were MAS and I was saying I want a company to show certain things before I allow them to look after assets for clients, right? I think we have shown the MAS more than enough over the years. Good record keeping, good processes. We've had multiple audits, a very strong shareholder base, lots of very strong capital position, profitability. I think these are the things that the regulators would look at in terms of a company before they would allow to even consider a firm to be a custodian, right? And then if you look at the other custodians, I think most of them are banks in Singapore as well, right? So that gives you a sense of the kind of strength of a company or a firm before it is allowed to be a custodian of assets, right? So not sure if that sort of tries to address that.
I guess it helps to a large extent who will be the custodian. Yeah. And in fact, a lot of the questions also pertains towards what are some of the operational process or things that they have to take note. Terence, you also have a slide to share in terms of the timelines and things to take note, right?
Yes.
So can we have the slide up, Terence, and go through with us what are the important timelines?
Yeah. So when we mentioned a slide on all these important timelines, I think this is actually a very simple slide, right? And I think when it is purposefully simple, because behind the scenes, I think iFAST and MoneyOwl have been working really hard to minimize any disruptions to your investment journey. So there are just 3 dates here that I want to highlight. Okay, so we have the first date, which is a range from the 4th to the 15th of September, right? So over the next couple of days, iFAST will actually be reaching out to each and every one of you with specific instructions on how you can perform a login on our platform and you can start viewing your MoneyOwl portfolios on the iFAST platform. And because I mentioned earlier that we are not moving your assets anywhere, we're not taking the assets off your account, what it means is that you can continue to transact on the MoneyOwl platform during this period, right, with no disruptions at all. Okay, all we are doing on the iFAST side is we are allowing you to see that your portfolios are with us, okay? And it's just that no transactions are available yet. Okay. Next important date, 24th of October. This is when MoneyOwl will stop taking any more transaction instructions from you on the MoneyOwl platform. And the time they're looking to cut off is 1600 hours or 6 p.m. Okay.
1800 hours.
Sorry, it's, eyesight's not very good. 1800 hours, 6 p.m. in the evening. And that very same day, iFAST will activate transactions on your accounts on the iFAST platform. And the commitment we've given MoneyOwl is by midnight on the 25th of October, you will be able to place the transactions on your MoneyOwl portfolios. Right. So, I think the way we have designed this process, if you can allow me to share a bit of an analogy, right? So, investments, custodians, very hard to understand. So, I think that I'm not sure if it's an appropriate analogy, but I like to think of, MoneyOwl has set up a really beautiful hotel. Okay? They have been managing it really well for the past 5 years. And I think you, the MoneyOwl clients, have really enjoyed your time there, right? All the comments we have seen on social media, I think a lot of great work has been done. And because MoneyOwl has now decided that they are not going to manage that hotel anymore, right? iFAST is now stepping in to take over the management, right? So what it means is you stay in that beautiful hotel room, enjoy the same services in that hotel, and iFAST has even told you that we're going to keep the fees the same. Right? We're not going to up the fees. We're not going to change the services. It's just a change of management. And why I mentioned the hotel business is because a lot of hotels do this very frequently. And what's going to happen is we want to get to know you, but we are not going to enforce all the new services that we think will be suitable for you. So our intention is not to disturb you, the MoneyOwl clients, with all the other services that iFAST provides. Right? We have a whole lot of other things that probably we don't have the time to discuss today. I actually wanted to share a lot about the other services that iFAST provides, but I think, after hearing from Chun Ting this afternoon, speaking with some of the MoneyOwl staff members as well, I think today's session, we really want to focus on what's important to the MoneyOwl clients, which is why this transaction is the most seamless one possible, right? It can only work because, like I said, we are not chasing you out of the hotel. You are staying there. Just the name is changing, management is changing, but services are going to remain the same. The costs are going to remain the same. Okay, and then I don't think there's any other more seamless way. And we do want you to stay on that long wealth journey that you're set out to do, and we want to continue the good work that Chun Ting and team have done. So yeah, I guess operationally, I've said a lot of things, but it's actually just those 3 dates that you have to take note of.
Okay. So I don't have to specifically open the floor to questions because the questions are all here already and there are plenty of them. Maybe the next few questions actually they are directed at I guess MoneyOwl, and I think the clients are thinking of you and your team. So quite nice. They are asking about what happens to your staff, are there arrangements to be made, and some of them, one of the questions specifically addressed like they invested because of you. So what's going to happen to you also? So would you like to share some of these plans or what you have made?
Firstly, thank you very, very much. I mean, this really continues all that wonderful and surprising to some extent empathy and concern that our clients have shown us. And I think my team and I are really, really, really very gratified, grateful to you for that. You should be the one concerned, but instead you're concerned about us. So I think that thank you very much. This is a difficult decision for the NTUC Enterprise and MoneyOwl because obviously we're part of the labor movement. So what has happened is that MoneyOwl staff will be leaving the company and they are taking retrenchment. And so what will happen is that we have discussed together with the union, because we are a unionized company under Banking Financial Services Union, to come up with a very fair compensation package in line with the tripartite advisory guidelines on managing retrenchments responsibly. So this is not a case where someone gets a box and everyone goes away. Not at all. In fact, our staff will be with us for at least until the end of November, half of them, and then the rest largely until the end of December. And that's also when I will leave the company as it moves towards a corporate wind down. So our topmost concern is to ensure that this client transition is well. But of course, after today, in fact, the work has already started. We are aggressively looking out for our people. We have about 40 staff, plus 2 contract staff, but what we can do for them in terms of jobs and all. Both internally, we are a big group, NTUC Enterprise Group has 13,000 employees or so, or more actually, and we are working with the HRs there and my fellow CEOs there to help place everyone. We're working with the Employment and Employability Institute of the NTUC, so that's E2I, and we'll spare no effort in doing that. And if any of you has be able to help in any way, please do come and let us know. iFAST actually has also offered employment to 5 members of our advisory team and another 2 members of support and ops team, and this is up to the colleagues to assess if they would like to take up this employment offer. But you just know that this is just one of many offers to come. I myself, I think, thank you for the concern. I will be taking a break, right? In order to just recharge after many years. It's been a great journey, and I think we're most gratified to have hopefully made a little difference in the lives of Singaporeans who really deserve better in terms of financial advice. And it's not just about investments, it's not just about insurance, it's about your life goals and how you can make use of good habits and CPF and all that. I know I like something like giving advice again, and I may not have the opportunity to do for a while, but please take care of yourselves, and that's one reason why we have taken care of you with iFAST, because we know that financial planning is a long journey. It's a journey for the long haul. If I want to fork iFAST on something, and press dimensional as well, is that these guys, maybe MoneyOwl also, we are not very good at some things. There's one thing that we're really not good at, and that is at spin. We are not good at like saying that something that we are when we are not. And that's why you ask Terence, how whether legally there's an agreement or not. He tells you all as it is, right? And dimensional has also, why is it that people don't know about you? Right? It's because you have 700 billion in assets. You're probably number 6 or something in the US, right? And that's because they don't do any advertising, so that they can keep their costs low, right? And being a sustainable business. So we know that financial planning is for the long haul. So we have heard the commitments. Dimensional will not change its way of investing on its level, and iFAST will not change the investing on the advisory level or on the fund management level. And this is very important to you. We have, I said so before, that people who aren't good at spin don't come up, they may come out in a certain way. And I wrote as well that iFAST is they're hard-headed businessmen, right? But when they say yes, in my experience in 5 years working with them, and even very recently, I know that they mean what they say, and they will get it done, right? Including all the accounts and the tech work needed to get the accounts up. Yeah. So because financial planning is for the long haul, so we look beyond the surface, how it looks, and we look through to the stability of iFAST, and of course the and all the other licensing and the seamlessness and all that. So you have the best of both worlds, in my opinion. You have the stability of that company that's been around for so long, listed, profitable, and all that, and that is all to your benefit. And at the same time, the asset allocation, that pioneering spirit that is expressed in terms of the choice of dimensional, the choice of low-cost funds is preserved for you. So I do hope that all of you would stay on this journey, be it in investing or in insurance, or in really looking after your CPF. So very sorry it took us so much time to answer that question about stuff, but that's really where our heart is and continues to be.
Yeah, no worries, because I'm sure the clients, they are with you for so long, they are also concerned on this part. There are some other questions I can pretty go through myself quite fast, like people asking about whether there will be recording of this session. Yes, there will be a recording, and we'll share the links with you later on. So for those who have missed certain parts of this session, you'll be able to get access to it later on. And so a number of questions ask whether they should stop topping up their gyro monthly top up to the MoneyOwl regular savings plan under iFAST. So on that part, you don't have to do anything. We will send you some information that monthly investment can continue to go on. Okay, and in fact, there are some questions on dimensional also. So they're asking, despite you've given an introduction to dimensional funds, they're also asking how much is dimensional's commitment to staying in Singapore?
Oh, well, I hope it's very long for my career. No, it's a great question. Thanks. So Dimensional is a privately owned company. We were founded in 1981, and we've been in Singapore for 10 years. So we have a good business in Singapore. It's headquarters for Asia. We also have an office in Hong Kong and Japan, but Singapore is our largest office. It's a full service office. We have HR, finance, legal, operations, investment management, education, as we do portfolio management and trading. The business is going very well. We intend to be here for a very long time. And our business continues to grow as the independent wealth management business continues to grow here in Singapore and in Hong Kong. So yeah, there's a very strong commitment from Dimensional to continue to expand our Asian business from Singapore.
Okay, great, thanks. I hope that gives you confidence that dimensional funds will be around, and iFAST, your investments with MoneyOwl and now going to be on iFAST platforms will be invested in these dimensional funds. Okay, I think we also have quite a number of questions on insurance. There will be a bit, we probably need both Chun Ting as well as Terence to give us their answers. So they're asking, insurance, how will it be handled? And if they have issues, should they be calling in to check with iFAST or calling in to check with MoneyOwl? So maybe Chun Ting, you want to go ahead first?
Yeah, so well, you can continue to check in with your advisors at MoneyOwl for probably all the way until such time when you transfer your insurance policy to iFAST, and then iFAST will take over the servicing. So we are still around, right? We are not like disappearing today or tomorrow. We are still around, and your advisors should still have been available to you. So please do check in. But of course, iFAST will reach out with some instructions about transfer of servicing procedures. I think, as Terence has said, that this is subject to each insurer's agreement and also each insurer's processes, because the insurance company, you are also their clients and they want to take care of you. So we do have to step through with each of these partners. So please be patient on that front. But of course, as you know, your insurance policies remain unchanged. Just continue paying your premiums. Your benefits are totally unchanged. Yeah, so we are still around. Do give us a call. Of course, if you want to, you can also call iFAST. So either one would actually do. We are both available to you.
Yeah,
You want to
I
add
mean,
on to it?
yeah, I mean, at iFAST, I think one of the questions we have also gotten is why, iFAST Global Markets, and we currently have something like 63, 64 business partners. So these are self-employed individuals, many of whom are also experienced in insurance advisory. And I guess if there are any new insurance needs, or you have questions about your policy, that if you have some burning questions like, am I insured enough, or what do I do with my existing policies now? We are fully resourced to help you on all those questions.
In fact, I think you will have read in the business transfer that we have two tech platforms on insurance that also be transferred to iFAST. So we have a comparator platform, we have a needs analysis, quote unquote robo as well for clients. And so iFAST will take those on and continue the good work of promoting pricing transparency and also digital insurance advisory. So I think that one, keep your ears open, because obviously it takes time for iFAST to integrate them. But hopefully those tools will be also available soon.
Yeah, thanks for saying that. I was going to say, please give us some time.
Yes.
But I don't think we can commit so quickly to launch something utilizing those tools. But I mean, definitely appreciate all the good work that's been done. And we hope to, again, continue many of these journeys, not just on the investment front, but also on the insurance side.
Okay, so that's the questions on the insurance side. I think they also have concerns if they want to speak to their advisors for their investment products. So during this period of time, do they contact MoneyOwl or do they contact iFAST?
Prior to the 25th of October, please continue to contact MoneyOwl. So that's not a problem, and Terence can add on about how it works after the transfer.
Yeah, so I mean, again, we are fully resourced. We have more than 60 people happy to provide some advice on your MoneyOwl portfolios. And I guess one of the key things about iFAST is, I think since day one, we've always believed in good client servicing. And I think it's quite frustrating nowadays when you get put through an automated voice call, and you wait like 20 minutes and you still can't get anyone to speak to you. So we don't believe in that here. Actually, our lines are manned. We have a huge team of client service staff ready to support you, to answer your calls. Any issues you're facing, we're always going to be there for you. So hopefully we'll give you some assurance that even after transition, hopefully we can do as well as the MoneyOwl team, and maybe try and better that.
Okay, I think some of the clients also want to know, when they log into iFAST platform, the way that they're going to view the MoneyOwl's investments, if they are also an iFAST client. How does that work? Terence, would you help us with that?
Okay, so it's a slightly technical question, but it would depend on what kind of iFAST account you currently have. So if you are an existing iFAST Global Markets client, if you were to log into your account, we have already made the MoneyOwl portfolios available for you to see. Okay, so you can already see the holdings there, but you can't do anything on them. All transactions, like I mentioned, will still continue at the MoneyOwl website. Okay, so that's if you're an existing iFAST Global Markets client. If you are not, that means you could be an FSM1 client, you could work with one of our other intermediaries, then you will not be able to see those portfolios inside your existing iFAST login. You will have to perform a new login process on the iFAST Global Markets platform, so either through our mobile app or through the website. Details on this we will be sending to all of you very shortly. I mean, if I point to my earlier timeline, we are hoping to get some communication sent out to you this week with very specific instructions on how you can log in, depending on the kind of client account that you currently have, or if you don't even have an existing iFAST account at all. So please bear with us as we tidy up some of this final communication, and once we're ready, it will go out to you.
Okay, great. So in terms of the communications, we'll be sending out them tomorrow, so clients will get.
As early as tomorrow, the communication could go out.
Okay, great. I have also a couple of questions. This would be directed towards Chun Ting. Have you also looked at other platforms or partners to take over the business?
Yes, we considered really all options, all feasible options. And like I said, of topmost of our mind is really how it will be in the interest of clients. So I think I set out some criteria. So briefly, we talked about 5 criteria that I had. And the first one is really how can it be as painless as possible for you, such that it's not just about what you need to do, but what happens if you can't do anything, will it still be okay, right? So, and I think that's because iFAST has always been a custodian, which means a custodian as a platform provider, which means that everything that you see in terms of calculation on the number of units, even the rebalancing, the statements and all that, actually at the back prepared by iFAST. So that's the first criteria. I think the second criteria would really be the stability of the platform, the stability of the advisor, right? So I know that many people have concerns about digital platform, and I think I've also written to say that MoneyOwl is quite different as a social enterprise. So please do not extrapolate and over extrapolate MoneyOwl's decision to wind down to mean that all digital platforms are in trouble. And there are different digital platforms and there are digital platforms. But having said that, we know that the clients might still prefer a firm that has a longer history or have a more definitive financial position, and that is why I think iFAST tick that box. I think it's a very, very important box for us when considering for you. So also on these two are probably the topmost considerations: the seamlessness and the stability. And I think on this, iFAST really stands out. The other considerations we also had is that, we've always believed in comprehensive planning, and comprehensive planning means not just investment only. Yes, a lot of you are investment clients, but at the same time, you're also insurance clients, and we wanted someone who could offer more than just one service, and so be multifaceted in that. And the fourth criteria would be how close an experience would it be in terms of being both what we call bionic, right? Both having a digital experience that if you want to do something on your own, you can do that without having to call someone else up. At the same time, if you want to have advice, you can have someone to call up. And so that is where iFAST, with its team of 60 plus advisors, really helps. Now, I cannot comment on things like UX, you like this color, you don't like that color, you like blue, you like green, you like, and all that. Obviously, some platforms are different, and some might be superior in some ways to iFAST's platform, some might be different or inferior in some other ways. But I think it's really ultimately, do you have the best of, I would say, people augmented by technology, right? Human advice augmented by technology, which is what MoneyOwl was trying to do. Yeah, and of course, last but not least, the fees, and that is where, yes, there can be others who can tick that box on fees, and we also don't think that the cheapest is the best, right? So I think there's a lot of there's so many other criteria that we have, which I described, and that is really why ultimately, at the end of the day, we did seriously consider many options, several options, I'll say, and we came back to believe that iFAST, with its commitments given, its stability, and in fact its experience with already handling MoneyOwl clients, was the best option, given that we can be around.
Thanks, Chun Ting, for those comments, and once again, thank you for the trust in iFAST platform. In fact, we have quite a number of questions coming in and asking about, comparison between iFAST, MoneyOwl, and specific competitors or names out there. I don't think today is the platform for us to go through this. We don't want to make these comparisons and all this. We just want to ensure that for your investments with us, when it's transited to iFAST, it will be seamless, and in terms of management philosophy, everything will be kept the same. There are some questions pertaining to fees, because I think a lot of things about fees, just now we mentioned that we're going to be committed to keep the fees unchanged. And then now they're asking about the rebates. How about the insurance rebates? How is it going to be? Terence, would you like to answer that?
Okay, so I think for the iFAST Global Markets division, so even though we have our own team of self-employed advisors, I mean, I like to call them my CEOs, because they're all their own boss, and they work with us as a business partner. But I think they're all here to do one thing. They're very aligned with the iFAST philosophy, that vision of helping clients do their wealth business properly. And actually on the insurance side, all of them, when they serve their clients, they will offer the iFAST standard insurance rebate, which is 25% of gross commissions on any life insurance policy. So of course, this is only for cash, those bought with cash, right? We can't do anything with stuff bought on CPF because of all those complications. And we actually found that this is quite similar to the MoneyOwl policy. I think MoneyOwl has used a couple of different permutations in the past, and I guess a couple of differences, because MoneyOwl also references what they call the basic commission, whereas iFAST, we lump this thing called basic commission and the overriding commission. So those of you in the insurance business, you probably understand that. For everyone else, it's just one plus another, one part plus another part that forms the whole commission on the insurance policy. Right? I mean, quite technical, but I think let's not go there. But I think overall, we're fully committed to this insurance rebates. Any new policy that's done with us, you will continue to enjoy this rebate at iFAST. And for the transitioning clients from MoneyOwl, we have also committed to MoneyOwl that we will also implement our commission rebate structure, and it will be better off what was committed at MoneyOwl's side and at iFAST. So actually, I think when we look at the numbers, it's quite clear that because iFAST pays commission rebates for up to 6 years, right? That means if insurer continues to pay us year after year after year, we will continue to pay a commission rebate on those commissions paid, right? So when we look at it, I think I would dare to say I don't see any MoneyOwl client on insurance being worse off after they transition to us. And of course, the caveats, I think Chun Ting mentioned earlier that iFAST tends to be a bit too honest sometimes. I think the key caveat here is we cannot pay a commission rebate if we don't receive it from the insurer, right? And some things may, ultimately be beyond our control. But behind the scenes, iFAST is working really hard with MoneyOwl to ensure the insurance transition is as seamless as we can make it happen. Whatever little hoops we have to jump through, we will do it, because I think end of the day we are fully committed to ensuring that you get those commission rebates that you have signed up for. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Terence. I think there are also some other questions about rebates. I think this is someone from the industry because you know the exact term to use. So it's asking about trailer fees rebate. So maybe Commissioner, you can explain to them why this could be like not relevant.
Sure. For investments, Dimensional doesn't pay any trailer fees. We don't share any of our revenues. We're a very low cost manager. It's one of the reasons that MoneyOwl chose us, and we're fully transparent in that relationship. We don't pay iFAST anything. We don't pay any advisors anything to sell our products because we believe that investments should be bought and not sold, and it should be in the best interest of the client. So we have a situation like MoneyOwl where the client's paying MoneyOwl a fee to act in their best interest. There's no conflict of interest at all because we don't pay MoneyOwl or iFAST anything to invest client money. So can be very clear on that for all Dimensional clients.
So, do you think there is anything to add on trailer fees rebate?
On the wise income portfolios that for MoneyOwl clients, there's also no trail fee. There's no trail fees either for MoneyOwl clients. Right. So for Wise Saver and the rest, I mean, we have a platform. The platform has always been iFAST, and for the advisor side, there are no trailer fees to MoneyOwl for the Wise Saver or for the CPF funds, which are advisor retrocession free. Now, of course, as part of the business arrangement that we have had with iFAST, iFAST does have some trail fees, as is in the iFAST business model, which iFAST has always had. Right. So, but I think that the economics wise, there's no difference when you switch from MoneyOwl to iFAST as the advisor or the fund manager. I think that's what you need to know. And for you as a client, you should look at the total fees, right? The total fees that you're paying. In some cases, you might be paying an advisory fee, and then you get a rebate. And so think about it that way. How is it the total cost for you in that? And I'll say that there is a narrative that sometimes can be a bit of what I consider a false dichotomy. And it's come up again in probably the last few days to say that if an advisor takes a commission or even either on insurance or trailer fees, then they're somehow in a kind of bad advisor camp, and those who don't take and who are fee only are the good advisors, so-called. I want to state that for MoneyOwl, we have never said that commission advisors are bad advisors, and because we have come across many commission advisors who are very, very motivated to do the best for their clients. Yes, we do feel that commissions can create a conflict of interest because it places the client in a position to think, are you looking out for my best interest? So yes, that is a conflict of interest that exists. But to say that if you have to be fee only to be able to do a good job, I think that is a false dichotomy, because there can be cases where you are fee only, but there can still exist a conflict of interest. For example, if you are all going for big AUMs or big growth at all costs, how does that actually impact your business sustainability for the longer term? And is that really in the best interest of your clients to go at all costs, or to push clients to do more than that they should be investing, or maybe they shouldn't be investing at all? So I think this is where we have to be fair, that there are different business models out there, and for whatever it's worth, I think you get the best of both worlds, because your portfolios are maintained at the current cost and current, not just fees, but even on the expense levels, they are being maintained because the funds are not being changed, and at the same time you get the stability of a platform like iFAST. So I think that's perhaps is something I thought I would just call out to say, because it's sort of the elephant in the room. did we consider whether or not that business model should play a part in our choice of partner? I think we really thought long and hard about it, and in the end we settled that it could be important to some of you, and for those of you for whom this is important, you always have a choice. So in MoneyOwl's business transfer to iFAST, that is what we think is the best for everyone in terms of the seamlessness, in terms of the stability of the platform, all that. But of course, you always have a choice, you always have an option. I am not in that regard endorsing iFAST model or anyone else's model for that purpose, because we have no interest. I have no vested interest in whether or not you stay with iFAST or go to another platform. But I have an interest in making sure that you have that option of a stable partner to go to. You do not panic sell and jeopardize your financial plan, or just sort of run away from planning and taking care of your wealth accumulation altogether. So I hope that sort of answers the question on this sort of as an add-on.
Yeah, thanks. So actually there are like related questions, and to what you have answered, there are some, I can see some related questions that is asking even a bit more. It's a bit more pointed. That one I guess will be directed towards Terence. So there's a client asking, how do they know that iFAST advisors, when they come under our advice, we will be doing what's good for clients, or we will be pushing more on commissions? And then I think there's a related one, how do we show that we are transparent in our fees?
Okay. Yeah. Actually, because I look after the iFAST Global Markets division, and I know it's not in our discussion tonight to talk about other business partners, other parts of the industry. I think we're trying to focus a lot on what iFAST is good at, why Chun Ting and team, after that due diligence process, decided that this would be the best outcome. And I think we've talked a lot about even the operations. We're not asking you to move out of the hotel. You just stay there. Accept that that iFAST is now going to take over management. But I guess that there will always be this question. I think that Chun Ting tried to answer very. It's a philosophical process, right? I mean, to think about commissions are bad and all that. But I think at the end of the day, what we really believe in is transparency to clients. Right? When we built the iFAST Global Markets division, the advisors that wanted to join us believed in this transparency. Okay, so we asked our advisors to make fees transparent. It's a requirement. When they sell an insurance policy, they have to state to their clients exactly what the commissions are, and they can actually show the client how much of a rebate they're going to get. Right. So all that's been done to improve the transparency of the process. And even with this creation of this business unit, I think that I guess many clients still have an impression, because there's still a lot of negative behavior out there in the industry that we don't appreciate, we don't like it, because this is the wealth advisory business. It shouldn't be like this. But at the same time, we try on our side to promote transparency. I think iFAST was probably one of the first platforms in Singapore to promote what we call the rep fee model, right? So which completely aligns the advisor and the client, right? And that's a platform that I think Dimensional, your funds work perfectly on that, because the clients pay every cent that the client pays goes to the advisor, right? And of course, iFAST takes a small cut from there. And I think if you look at the advisors that we have worked with for a long time, I think they all appreciate this model. They can see that it cancels out a lot of the conflicts of interest. Our advisors don't sell high commission products. I think we also shared some information with Chun Ting in our due diligence process, right? That we haven't sold a single universal life product, which are extremely high commission products. We've never sold an ILP, which is something we've spoken out quite strongly against in the past. And I think the vast majority of life policies that we have sold are all term. policies, which are actually the cheapest, lowest cost insurance products you can find to protect against what's important, which is life, right? So I'm not going to say that we are totally exactly the same as MoneyOwl on some of these regards. I can say that it's, if you can find the similarities are 80-90% there, I think that's as good a fit that that we can achieve.
Yeah. Perhaps if I could add on one on the philosophical level and then one on the investment level. Perhaps let's start with the investment level. MoneyOwl's investment philosophy is so-called very, someone described us as very pure, right? Perhaps he meant naive, right? You see that we only have one accumulation solution, and that's dimensional. We have one co-created income solution. We have one saving solution, because we only see, when it comes to me, saving is cash. There's nothing else. And that fierce curation, that keeping things simple, to be honest, we don't find it anywhere else. Right? If there was one, that would be a second MoneyOwl, and there just isn't. And there are reasons for that. And because it is not easy to sell a basic, like kind of, not basic as a rudimentary, but just very simple solutions when it comes to marketing. So on the investment side, then, if you think about the objection to trailer commissions, is it a conflict of interest issue? Or do people really try to sell higher commission funds? Now, what's the problem with high expense ratio funds? There are two issues. Firstly is that they tend to be actively managed funds, because of active management, managers have to be compensated for that active management. They're not in the same category as dimensionals with scale. So even though dimensional is in a sense active, but some of the more traditional active managers, they do many other things in order to arrive at their investment decisions. Research reports, visiting companies, going to looking at macro and trying to outguess the market, and so on. And so that is one issue. So what if you, so it then bears out in the performance, because this is all in the total expense ratio, and when you have too high a total expense ratio, it affects your investment performance, right? And so over time, an advisor who only recommends these types of funds will actually find themselves in a much worse position as far as looking after clients and getting clients to stay with them, because your performance is just not going to be good, right? So there are places where, yes, you can rebate part of this, be it the trail part or even more, or give a discount on this, and it will bring down the expenses. But think about this, you can still have a 2% trailer fund and say half of it is rebated and it's at 1% total expense ratio to you. What is dimensional's total expense ratio? 0.2?
On average, we're in the
0.2,
0.2s.
0.2, right? And that is what you get in iFAST.
It has a big part on your return.
That's
The
right.
amount you give away in cost is a direct correlation with, in most cases, your return. And that's why it's important that at all levels we try and keep costs low for investors.
Exactly. So that's why I say that, in a sense, are you going to let, in a sense, or rather, I thought that it was important that as long as your funds, as your clients enjoy that, it is more important that you still have that, rather than comment on all your other aspects of your business model that don't affect our clients. That's why I say that you have the best of both worlds: the stability that is brought about by being profitable, and as well as the funds being there. So that is the sort of investment question, because just because there are trailer rebates does not mean that the passive or passive plus type of philosophy is being adhered to. Otherwise, those active funds will not even be on the platform. Right? So I think that's where I'm coming from. And just because there are trade rebates does not mean that your expense ratios are lower than the iFAST managed MoneyOwl transferred portfolios. Yeah. So that is the investment level. The second level on the philosophical level is this. We do feel that in an ideal world, if you're fee only, that is being advice led and advice paid. But in countries where the commissions, including trailer commissions, have been totally banned, the result of it has actually been that some parts of the market get cut off because advisors are not actually interested in the non-affluent market. And you see that it's very natural, people already move up that space. So it is quite hard. It's not, there's no inertia about how we're going to resolve this on a macro level, but I just thought I'll point that out, on the sort of investment level and the also the philosophical level as far as business models are concerned. I think what our clients you need to know is that iFAST is a stable pair of hands. Your portfolio expense ratios, your expense ratio levels remain the same. Your rep fees remain the same, and this is the commitment that iFAST has given.
Okay, there are some more things that are operational. Just now we discussed about clients able to view their money hours account holdings at IGM site right now. And if they are existing clients with IGM site, they already should be able to see it. So there are of course some clients also asking about FSM1. Are they able to see if they are FSM clients? Does the funds get merged together? Can they continue to purchase from FSM1 side? Maybe Terence, can you answer us on that?
Yeah, so the short answer to that is actually no, right? So yeah, we will not be making those portfolios available on the FSM1 platform. Yeah, I guess part of that, there's also a second consideration, which I think that since we have Dimensional here, I think Dimensional actually works with a pretty exclusive group of, I guess, advisors, right? So I think the model, is not, not to focus on businesses that are less, I guess, more brokerage in nature. Maybe you can share.
Yeah, certainly. So Dimensional, because of our business model, we're precluded from working with businesses, wealth management businesses, who typically have a commission-based model. And so there are a small but growing number of very good wealth management firms in Singapore and around Asia who use platforms like iFAST and who get paid by their client a wrap fee or an advisor fee, which is, as you say, transparent and disclosed and client agreed, which is the most important thing. And so Dimensional only works with firms in Singapore who have that model. We're proponents of that. We think it achieves good outcomes, and we have been working with advisory firms in Singapore who use iFAST with that model for 7 years now. And so we're very keen to see that continue and are passionate about making sure that clients' best interests are served. And as Chun Ting says, most often with that model, it's about lowering the cost to a level that the client is comfortable with in the context of total return. So that's what we do. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah. So
in that regard.
I guess the technicality is that on the FSM1 platform, because it's a non-advisory model.
SFM1, the full name of SFM1 is
Fund Supermarket.
Fund Supermarket.
Yes.
We're not available on Fund Supermarket.
Yes, so we can't make we can't make the Dimensional portfolios available there.
No, and that's fine with Dimensional because the model that we have is to work through financial professionals. So our funds are only available through firms that hold a financial advisory license, either discretionary or pure advisory. That makes us comfortable because we are not financial advisors, and we believe strongly in advice. So yes, we're comfortable with our funds not being available on Fund Supermarket for direct investment. I think where MoneyOwl, the relationships work so well is that MoneyOwl has been very thoughtful around the way they've designed their interface to educate clients, to allow them to set goals, to allow them to implement directly in a dimensional solution, but we see that very much as advised. And there are a number of players in the market who have that model, and we support that advised model.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I think we have a lot of other questions coming in, asking whether who can they contact and etc. In fact, at the end of the session, later on, I'll just share with you the contact details, and then please feel free to write in to contact MoneyOwl or iFAST team. So we also have quite a lot of encouraging remarks from our clients, thanking us for organizing this session, and of course thanking MoneyOwl for the hard work they have put in all these years. So maybe because we just have too many questions, and then won't be able to handle all of them later on, please, if your question is not answered, please feel free to drop us an email. So any closing remarks from Chun Ting side?
Yes, so again, to our dear clients, thank you very much for the trust that you have given us, and for the encouragement that you've given us throughout all these years, allowing us to come alongside you. We really acknowledge that this might cause some inconvenience and concern to you, and we hope that today's session, as well as the fact that we are still available to you via phone or email, and advisors for still some time yet, and also iFAST being around to answer the same will give you some comfort there. So really, we feel that it's been a great journey, and it's very gratified to have been allowed to make that difference to you, and we hope that you have fond memories of us. But ultimately, even as it's a sad situation for us, it's mixed with that gratitude, and so we are very committed to finishing well with you, and to the smooth client transition over to the iFAST team. I, of course, in making decisions on transfer of clients, it's not only, like all investment professionals, we look at both the hard factors and the soft factors when we consider our business partners, and be it dimensional or be it at iFAST, this was very important in our evaluation as well. And again, I want to say that in our dealings with iFAST, we see that they mean what they say. They will follow through on their commitments, and that's why they are the strong company that they are today. And so we hand over to iFAST with confidence. Of course, if iFAST does not live up to your expectations, the thing about as far as investments and all that concerned is you always have the option not to be with them. Right? Even today, if for whatever reason, despite all the assurances that have been given by iFAST, you are not comfortable, you always have the option. You're not locked in. You are by no chance are you into any product. So you have that. So that's, I think, again, once again, thank you, and it's been a privilege.
Okay, and most importantly, also on the iFAST team, there is any closing remarks for the audience?
Yeah, I mean, again, we're very happy to be able to address all of you today with Chun Ting and also partners at Dimensional. And I think we can only say that we are fully committed to making this transition a success. You cannot believe how hard the teams behind the scenes have been working to make this to I guess take away all that pain that we have been trying to preempt in this transition. And we are fully committed to making this work out for you. So looking forward to onboarding you guys in the coming weeks.
Okay, thank you all. Thank you all the panelists for joining us for this 1.5 hour session. And later on, the contact details will be out on the screen, and please feel free to write in if we have not answered your question. Thank you for joining us for this session.